Hi, I'm Philip Duncan. Thanks very much for joining us for our weekend weather update and the outlook for next week. My advice to you, make the most of the weather this weekend, even if you're in a drought, because we've got a lot of stormy weather on the way next weekend. In fact, a major autumn storm is on the way for New Zealand. It'll affect us right across the Easter weekend. Most of today's video isn't about that, but we do have a map at the end that does talk about and show you what is coming in. So we'll get there in a moment. First of all, let's kick off with the animated wind map. High pressure over the New Zealand area, making for a pretty calm Friday across the country. There are a few southerlies and showers coming through the eastern side of the North Island, and they'll be around for about another 24 hours. As that high crosses over us this Friday night and into Saturday morning, it will encourage these warmer northerly winds to come on through. So we've got a fairly mild weekend on the way. That's why I'm saying make the most of it. To the north, that is Tropical Cyclone Harold. It was named last night by the Bureau of Meteorology in Australia. Category 1 at the moment, and it is heading directly towards Vanuatu, and that's where we kick off our video. So it could be a severe Category 3 cyclone as early as lunchtime Saturday, New Zealand time. So that's quite significant, coming directly in. Now, if I just step off the screen, that's Vanuatu and there's Port Vila. So this is directly lining up with Vanuatu, and on Monday could be a direct impact for you. So just if you're on the islands there, keep up to date with your local authorities. Now back into New Zealand, we've got plenty of rain coming. Now this is the 7-day rainfall map starting from this Sunday through until next Sunday, which is Easter Sunday. The rainfall totals are pretty big. 80 to 150 millimetres along the west coast, and this colouring on the key. For the North Island, for the drought zones, you're sort of around the 20 to 40 millimetre mark. So it's not enough to end the drought, but it's certainly helpful. But the eastern side, in the yellow and the green, which you can see in a couple of spots, not so much. That's sort of the lower end of the scale. So let's try and make sense of all of this. We'll start off with the weekend, and then we are going to talk about this storm coming in for Easter. But for Saturday, pretty calm around the country. We've got a northerly wind that is picking up in some areas, and that'll be fairly mild. Southland, you've got a great weekend on the way. Next weekend looks terrible, so make the most of this weekend. You've got highs in the low 20s and lots of sun. There's Cyclone Harold getting closer to Vanuatu, and around the New Zealand area, just a couple of little showers up here to the north, and again still on the eastern side of the North Island, but they will ease and clear by the end of Saturday. By Sunday, it is dry on the eastern side, dry on the north, couple of little showers here on the west coast, and the winds are picking up, becoming stronger through Cook Strait, a bit stronger through the mountains and down here around Southland. On Tuesday, there's Monday I should say, there's Cyclone Harold moving in towards Vanuatu. It says 988 hectopascals, but to be honest with you, it could be down to 940. Some modelling is showing that. This is a very generic map, not zoomed in, but if you zoom right in, the air pressure is much lower than 988, which is why this one should be taken very seriously if you're in Vanuatu. Around New Zealand, it's actually a bit calmer on Monday in some northern areas. Otherwise, those winds are picking up and the rain clouds on the west coast stay about where they were. Let's carry on through to Tuesday. The storm tracking across Vanuatu. There's some risk for Fiji. We're not yet sure if it will come in south of Fiji and affect you or drop down like it was showing in the maps the other day. But as you can see, Tuesday in the New Zealand area looks pretty calm. Just a couple of light showers building up here and there. But the rain clouds on the west coast are now starting to build. By the time we get to Wednesday, you can see that rain band. But this may not be one big line of rain. It might be a narrow line of showers with isolated downpours in these green areas, which might produce even an isolated thunderstorm. So it may not be that big widespread rain band. It might be more broken up and patchy on Wednesday for the North Island. I think rain is more likely across the South Island. You've got a pool here of low pressure. But let's just focus on this storm coming in next week. As you can see on Wednesday, we've got plenty of winds building up in the Tasman. That's only about half of what is coming our way. So this next map is the one I really wanted to show you. I'll just step back so you can sort of get a good picture of it. But this is not this Saturday, the Saturday after. This is Easter Saturday. 955 hectopascals, 927 hectopascals. That's a gigantic drop of air pressure. That's a lot of wind coming in across the country and coming off the ice shelf. Now this could still change. This is not locked in. It's still 8 days away. But This is a pretty serious looking system for Easter weekend, so we're going to have a lot more information about that on the Weather Watch website. Farmers and growers in particular, and those working in essential services at the moment, this is something to be aware of as you are out and about. For everybody else, get prepared to be stuck at home even more and more inside the house than maybe outside as this system comes in. Although the last thing I'll mention, some of the eastern areas may well be fairly sunny and dry, but very windy. That is all from me. Have a great weekend at home. We will see you again on Monday.